Well, this one, a complete group effort all the way around. 6 Chicago Cubs with a multi-hit games, 3 with 3 hits. That's right. It was a hit parade in Kansas City, and that right there was your parade's grand marshal, Ian Happ, leading the charge in an 8-run victory over Kansas City. That nails down the 8th straight road series win, something that hasn't been done since all the way back in 1912. That's when the fellas rattled off 9 in a row. It's the 4th longest road series winning streak in Chicago Cubs history. Miguel Amaya, putting his fingerprints on this ball game as well. As we said, it was starting at the top, and then it ended at the bottom, and it ended with a W and a series win. And with that said, come on in. This is Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Yuengling Flight, the next generation of light beer. And Carlos, after yesterday's hard-fought battle that ended up in defeat, this was a win that the Cubs needed.
This is great because yesterday you saw how the Cubs battled all the way to the end. They were trying to give themselves chances to really get back into the game. And we talked about the importance of just focusing on your approach and being just mentally focus on the process, right? And eventually what ends up happening is today they break out. But if you put the cart before the horse, then this is not possible.
Yeah, 6-1 over the last 7 ball games, and it's all about that overall team resiliency that they put on full display. Not just resiliency, but professionalism as we dig into our professional grade plays presented by your Chicagoland and Northwest Indiana GMC dealer. And well, when you go through ups and downs, peaks and valleys in a season, you know that there needs to be a little professionalism going on. And if anyone was able to weather that storm, it's the quiet storm in Ian Happ. A 3-hit day, and, well, he punctuated that one, Carlos. Give it to me. Let's go. How about that? Getting up off the mat, Ian Happ, as a true professional does.
Yeah, you know what? That base hit the other way, going on the ground hard, it just locks you in. And
that's
then
how you get back on track.
And he hits it a mile. Man, I'm talking to you about just staying focused on the process. This is the perfect example.
Yeah, most seasons, 20 or more pumps in a campaign. I mean, sweet swinging Billy Williams, that's as good as it gets with 11. But Ian Happ certainly throwing himself into that Cubs stratosphere with that 5th. That's pretty big news.
Yes, and of course, we've seen Ian sort of struggle here as of late, right? And now, the last couple of games, he's been locked in. And, I mean, yesterday, he really gave this pitch a ride. I mean, this is a sweeper.
Let's go.
And he stays through it, does not rush. That's how he gets the lift. And just very crisp contact. Now, it's incredible how this zone right there, where you just drop the barrel on the ball and you're on time. There's no inhibition on that swing. Look at this one right here. It's almost identical. 2 different pitch types, different speeds, but he's on time to hit. So the breakdown of his mechanics, it doesn't happen, right? He does not break down the mechanics. It's almost as if he's hitting off the tee.
Yeah.
Because he's on time. And these 2 are 2 different speeds. And you can put these 2 swings one on top of the other, and it's almost exactly the same. Which tells you what we've been harping about the last couple of days. Timing is the most important thing in all of baseball. Seems like he's got his timing back.
Yeah, also that consistency, that repeatability. One thing that Pete said when he made that swing change at the beginning of the season is that he feels that with each and every single pitch, no matter the selection, his swing, highly repeatable. And like you said, if you overlaid Ian Happ's swing, unreal. And you see the 193 home runs. He's hot on the heels of Hank Sauer, and Ian Happ clearly on a trajectory to be a Chicago Cubs Hall of Famer.
It's really important when you're able to be consistent with your stroke, and you just mentioned it. If you were to grab that swing, right, and you think about bat speed, you asked me this question, which I thought was brilliant. It's like, hey, is bat speed even more important than timing, or timing more important than bat speed? I told you timing. Right? You grab Ian's Happ. Did he swing harder on the fastball or faster on the fastball than he did on the off speed that he hit?
On time.
He was on time. All he's doing is managing his time. Right? So this is about time management. Hitting is about time management.
Yeah, but it also helps if you're on time and you have a little bat speed to boot, because
it helps. Absolutely.
He knows that
and talent,
some of that buggy whip
and lightning hands.
That's true. Carlos Peña, he possessed each and every single one of those. Every single box was checked, and let's continue to check some boxes as we go to our lottery fast play of the game, presented by the Illinois Lottery. We talked about Ian Happ being one of a trio with not 1, not 2, but 3 knocks. Here's another one of the legs of that stool. It's Alex Bregman getting in on the fun, and when Alex Bregman is starting to see the ball well and drive runs in, that means that this whole team is clicking on all cylinders, Los.
You saw that base hit up the middle.
Yep.
That only happens when you are going good, meaning you stay through the baseball. We're talking about collapsing the backside. That would have been a ground ball to the third baseman or the shortstop. Instead, he's able to line it to center because he stays through the baseball. It's good hitting.
Yeah, unbelievable. Both instances, top of the fourth, top of the sixth. Alex Bregman with a knock. There were 2 outs and PCA on second base with a minimal lead, but he's still able to score. Not a whole lot of dudes are able to do that. Not necessarily going to show up in a box score. And oh yeah, feeling the 8th straight series win. First time since 1912. The cream, it rises to the top. You know, Randy Poffo, a.k.a. Randy Macho Man Savage.
Love him.
You know, he's a Downers Grove native. You know that, right, Carlos?
I did not know that.
That's right up the street.
I'm a big fan, though.
Speaking
Big fan.
of right up the street, let's hit our bar locator because bars, ice, crisp, and cold. They're pouring beer from America's oldest brewery. That is indeed that Yuengling Brewery. We're just taking a stroll right down the block. That's right. You see it right there? Murphy's Bleachers. My guy, Freddie, I know he has on the camouflage cargo shorts, Tim's, like it's not the dead of summer, but either way, he is ready to help serve you there. Bars, they are pouring, and we're pouring out a sweet Cubs victory, an 8-run variety over those Kansas City Royals.